Hi, I'm Mikey Domagala, host of Inside Buzz, and welcome to episode 15. Five-year NBA veteran Jamario Moon is my guest, where we'll speak about his unusual road to the NBA, competing in one of the most memorable dunk contests ever, playing alongside LeBron, Wade, and Bosh in his career before they got to Miami, the Big Three, and currently the 5 tournament, which tips off in late July. And folks, there's a reason why. If you go to youtube.com and type in Jamario Moon, you'll see him dunking all over the place, whether it's in the dunk contest, the Rising Stars Challenge. He was known for his athletic ability and his knack for the defensive end. All right, Jamario, welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming on for episode 15.
Appreciate it, man. I'm happy to be on.
So I saw on social media, and for all the listeners, find Jamario on Instagram at IamJMoon, that you'll be competing in the 5 tournament, along with other, former NBA players, Joe Johnson, Nate Robinson, and Mike Bibby. Talk to me about that, and talk to me about how you've been training in quarantine.
First of all, I want to thank my guy JC for putting the game together, man. He must have known the guys were hungry for some basketball, and the basketball fans were hungry for some basketball. So, he put this game together, man. Reached out to me, asked me if I would play, and I'm like, hey, I'm a basketball player, man. You call and ask me about playing basketball, I'm coming to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So, it's gonna be fun for me, man, to be able to get out of the house, get out of Georgia and go, have a little fun on the basketball court, man, with the Big Three being shut down, due to the corona and all that stuff, man. This is going to be a breath of fresh air.
Another breath of fresh air, the NBA season beginning in a couple weeks, the preseason, and then July 30th, the season coming around. If you were in the NBA today and you had to go to the bubble, how would you handle it, Jamario?
With a lot of the other, craziness that's going on in the country, man, I think if I was in the NBA right now, I probably would be like Avery Bradley, man, and just sit it out. You know what I'm saying? And because I feel like it's gonna take the attention away from what's the bigger picture. So I don't even feel like I would be going to participate.
And 7 years playing in the NBA, but before you got there, it took you a little bit. The NBA G League, overseas, playing for the Globetrotters, a bunch of summer leagues, before Toronto signed you in 2007. Can you talk to me about your mentality of going through all those years, and did you ever feel like you wanted to quit?
Man, I was playing basketball, man. Listen, from the day I picked up a basketball and took my first dribble, man, I knew I loved the game. I just love basketball. So wherever I had to go to entertain people or to entertain myself, just to be able to play the game, man, I was happy with it. I was just actually, I think when I first started playing, it wasn't really like, the NBA, I gotta get it. I was just happy to be playing. And then, after a while when people like, man, you can go feed your family real good if you, do what you got to do and make it to the league, man. But before that, I was just in love with the game. So, like a lot of the places that I played, I didn't even get paid. Or if I did get paid, it was late. You know what I'm saying? And they were just like, okay, I'm still playing the game. We were still traveling, going to the games and play. And I'll eat. As long as I'm eating, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? So I was just in love with it, man. I didn't care about the journey. But I think once I did make it to the NBA, by not being drafted, and then, when Toronto signed me, I was sitting basically in my street clothes. I wasn't even on the active roster when I first got there for like the first few games. Me going through what I went through before I made it actually prepared me for, not playing when I got there, because I had already been through basically what a lot of people would call the worst. You know what I'm saying, by not being paid and all that stuff. But I feel like I had already been through the worst. So not playing, just sitting behind the bench watching shoot, I had courtside seats. You know what I'm saying? I had made it to the highest level. So I was just soaking it all up. And once I got my opportunity, man, I made the most of it, and I never sat behind the bench again.
I was going to bring that up next. 27-year-old rookie, you started in 75 games for Toronto in your rookie year, 8.5 points per game, 6.2 rebounds per game. Listen, that's good stuff coming off a bunch of seasons overseas. You could ball. You get all rookie second team honors, rookie of the month. How is it going to struggling to get there? And then, man, you get there and you're coming out blazing.
I was just happy to be playing. I was just soaking up the moment, man. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have averaged 12 rebounds a game if Chris Bosh wasn't in my way. You know, that Chris Bosh, that's my guy, man. He stole a lot of my rebounds, you know what I'm saying? But but no, man, I was just when I hit that court, man, I was just happy to be out there, man. I was, on TV, people calling and texting and, hey man, I saw you do this, I saw you do that. And I'm like, man, this is the life. So, every game after my first one, that was just another opportunity for me to try to, make my hometown happy, man. Because, where I'm from, man, a lot of people don't, make it to like the highest level of, whatever job they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it just felt good for me to be able to let the people see somebody from home make it. And I just, I had a smile on my face every game. I do that now. I still smile because I love it. I just love life. I love people. I love making people happy. So that was just my main thing. Just, just keep making your hometown proud.
And Jamario, you mentioned Chris Bosh. A lot of people remember him in Miami winning those championships, being a part of that big three. But in Toronto, man, 23, 10, and 3 in its prime. What was it like playing with Bosh, and how good was he?
Man, a lot of people, they sleep on Chris, man, because he wasn't the typical, put his back to the basket and back people down type of big man. He shot a lot of mid range, little 15 footers, man. But man, Chris was skilled, man. He's one of the best big men I play. Well, I ain't even gonna call him a big man. He's one of the best players that I played with. You know what I'm saying? And to walk out every night and give you 20. 10, man. I don't know how people can downplay that. They want to call him soft and all that type of stuff, man. But he was a dog, man. Chris used to eat up some people.
What was like a wow moment watching Chris operate out there, or if he gave somebody the work?
My whole rookie season was a wow moment. It didn't matter who it was. If it was Chris, Anthony Parker, Jose, or somebody like that, man. It didn't. The whole moment was a wow moment for me, man. But for me to just to be able to go out and take the court with one of the best power forwards to play the game, man. That was like it was. Now that I go back, I wasn't really thinking about that when I was on the team with him. But now when I sit back, and I done got older. I know. I watch a lot of basketball now. Then I was just playing and just raw athleticism. I wasn't really paying attention and focusing like I focus on it now. But when I go back and think about it now, man, it was just like, man, that dude was real smooth, bro. You know what I'm saying? And he just made it look so easy. It's like he wasn't going too fast and he wasn't going too slow. He did everything at his own speed, man. And like I said, when you go out and you average 20 and 10, you the guy.
2008 Rising Stars game. You threw down some ridiculous dunks in that game. I think you had 13 points, but you also played against and with players like, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Durant, Brandon Roy, Rudy Gay, Rajon Rondo. What do you remember from that day?
And I remember actually that day seemed like it was yesterday. I don't think I ever forget that, man. To be able to go out and step on the same court especially as Kevin Durant, man. To be invited to the same game as Kevin Durant, man. That was like it was like a dream. You know what I'm saying? It was like a dream, and it was all going the way I wanted it to go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in your dream, you like, the monsters are gonna catch me, but it was like, you know what I'm saying? I was just soaking up. It was like I was in the Vegas lights. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was happening exactly the way I wanted it, man. But I tell you what I do remember. Boobie Gibson stole the show that game, man. He hit so many threes, man, and I got a picture on my phone, matter of fact. I'm contesting one of those threes, and he just, like, I don't know, he might have hit like 10 threes that game or something, man. But just to be out there and soak up that whole, that whole atmosphere, man. My family was there, man. That was a wild moment. That was a real wild moment.
I checked actually before we got on this call. He finished with 33 points, Gibson, and I think something, as you were saying, close to 10 threes. So he was going off that game.
It seemed like every time he thought about shooting, it was going in, man. And then he had LeBron on the sideline just, amping him up. He was in his own zone, man. And that was, you want to win that game, but at the same time, you know, you basically there to entertain. You entertaining the fans, you know what I'm saying? But I was just looking like, man, this guy won't miss. You know, I'm thinking I'm having a good game, but he is having an out of this world type of game. But you know, those are the type of moments you live for, man. Especially coming from where I came from, to be out there on that stage and to go through all the, you know, the stuff that went on that weekend, man. It was just that was one of the best times of my life, man. Being a rookie, undrafted, making it to that stage. We lost in the game, but it don't matter because we still, you know, had fun, man. It was. Hey, well, I would go back and do it all over again 10 times.
I'm sure you would. And I mean, you know what I'm going to bring up next? That slam dunk contest you were in right after the Rising Stars game. Dwight Howard, Gerald Green, Dwight with the Superman dunk. Man, talk to me about that and take me through all your dunks in that one.
I want to say one thing. They cheated, man. They cheated. Dwight didn't dunk it.
I was going to ask you that. That was my next question.
But look, listen, he didn't dunk it. But when they showed it on the replay screen in slow motion, the way he was leaning forward like Superman with the cape flopping a little bit and threw that ball in, man, I'm like, oh, okay, I mean, you can count that as whatever you want to count it as, man. But you know what, man? When I got on that dunk contest stage, man, I actually had some butterflies. You know what I'm saying? When I'm out there with Gerald Green, he can fly. Dwight Howard, I mean, come on. Y'all don't even have to explain that one. And then, you know, I got all these people, you know, back home watching, and, you know, just little Jamario coming from small Goodwater, Alabama, man, on this big stage. You got the whole world watching the dunk contest, man. I feel like, man, I gotta perform well. You know, I think I did pretty good, man, other than, you know, when I put the tape down. I couldn't time the pass from Jason. So when they said you messed up when you put the tape down. You should have just did it regular, but it is what it is, man. I wouldn't trade none of those experiences for nothing, man.
After Toronto, it's Miami. Talk to me about joining Dwyane Wade and playing alongside him.
Yeah, me and Jermaine got traded from Toronto to Miami for Sean Marion and somebody. I can't remember who it was. May have been Marcus Banks or somebody, maybe. I can't remember, but man, when I got down to Miami, man, the first thing I noticed, because I was still on my rookie contract, the first thing I noticed was I got a pay raise, because those taxes the taxes in Toronto were way up here, man. So my checks were looking a little bit better, man. I was like, yes. But I love the city of Toronto, man, for, you know, giving me the opportunities to live out my dream, to start my dream. You know what I'm saying? To shout out to Sam Mitchell, man. They really, you know, gave me an opportunity to show what I could do in Toronto, man. And I went in and pressed, and obviously, you know, Miami liked what they saw. They wouldn't have traded for me. But when I got to Miami, man, with D Wade, it was like, oh man, this is it's different. You know what I'm saying? Running beside Flash, and my very first game, he's just throwing it up to the rim, man. I said, oh, this is gonna be fun. And I was hoping to sign back with Miami, man, when I became a free agent. But I think that's when they was, you know, transitioning into the Chris Bosh and LeBron stuff, man. So I think they were basically trying to save money. But I actually, you know, I played well in Miami, and, you know, we had a lot of fun, man.
As a teammate of Wade, is he in your greatest shooting guards of all time? Say MJ, Kobe, Wade. Is he in that conversation?
How could he not be? You remember the 06 D Wade, right? You remember what he did to Dallas. So how can he not be? He is definitely one of the best two guards to play the game to me. So I mean, I know it's a lot of people gonna argue this and that, but I mean, they always say you got to have rings. He got rings. He got buckets, and he played defense. So, you know, I don't see why not. He should be in your top shooting guard.
Yeah. I'm looking at, like I said, MJ, Kobe, Wade, and people want to say Harden's sneaking in there, but I can't see him passing Wade because of Wade's accolades. Like you said, the defense, one of the greatest, you know, defensive guards ever. So as we're talking about Harden, you think he'll get in there?
Sure, he scored. The way he scores, come on, sure, of course he'll get in there. But this is what I learned to do. a lot of people like to 1, 2, 3, like Jordan, Kobe, blah, 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 LeBron, Wade, they like to list like this. 1, 2. I don't do that, man. I just be like, okay, he was good, he was good, he was good. That's how I label mine now. All of them good. I think we just need to learn how to. I know it's hard for, the sports people to do that because it gives you something to talk about. But I just wish everybody would just take each individual's game and just take it for what it was, man. Because when they leave, you like, man, I miss watching D Wade play. I miss watching LeBron, man. Like now, I know people like, man, but MJ used to, blah blah blah. But but they always want to compare them. I don't even like comparing them. So if somebody want to argue with me about basketball, it ain't gonna happen because I'm just gonna be like all of them. They always, man, who you played with LeBron, so who you think better, LeBron or MJ? I said both of them.
Then after Miami, we're leading right up to LeBron. You got to Cleveland, LeBron's last season. Now, were there murmurs in the media amongst the teammates or what you saw with LeBron? Did you think he was going to leave?
And I never had any clue that LeBron would ever leave Cleveland. Never, man. We had the best record in the league. We lost to Boston. Boston put us out that year LeBron left. But man, we were actually kicking some people's butt, man. We were winning some games, man. And I just thought like, okay, we just need maybe one piece, 1 or 2 pieces or something, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to be right there. That's all we needed. I never had any inkling that LeBron was going to – I didn't think he would ever leave Cleveland, to tell you the truth. But when he left Cleveland, everybody was, in their feelings and mad at LeBron. And yeah, actually, I felt some type of way when he left. I'm like, dang, man, we were just – we were this close, man. Why he leave? But but then it opened up an opportunity for me to, to step in and play more. But I didn't like the way they were dogging him, man. I'm like, oh, that's bad, man. He did give a lot to that team, that city for some years. And, when I heard him say like, LeBron, I never really thought about it like this, but when LeBron went to Miami, he was basically using those years in Miami like college years, you know what I'm saying? Like he never went to college. He's just always been right there in Akron and Cleveland in that area, So, when I look at it like that, okay, maybe he might have needed that little, because I'm sure that was a lot on it. But, we all wanted LeBron to stay. All our feelings was like, all of us was in our feelings, but I think in different ways. But I can understand, why he did what he did. He obviously made up for it when he came back and, won the championship. So can't be mad at him no more.
And then after he left, like you were saying, Cleveland was at the top of the standings. Instantly, they're down 19-63. You were a part of that team. What was the vibe like in Cleveland after LeBron?
It was horrible, man. It was horrible, man. The whole city was just like, it was just like somebody just let the air out of a balloon, man. It was bad. I mean, exactly what you seen watching the games that's exactly how it felt. However it felt when you was watching us play, that's exactly how it felt. Probably times 2 to us, because we got to go in and practice and then go out and play. Then when you go out in public, people gonna say what they gonna say. You just have to eat that up and keep it pushing, man. But that was tough, man. I think we lost 26 straight games, bro. I think we lost 26, if I'm not mistaken, 25 or 26 straight games, and that was rough. But what? I think when we won, I think we wound up beating the Lakers or somebody to end the streak or something like that, man. But that whole they didn't want us to even talk to LeBron when they came back to Cleveland. When Miami came back to Cleveland, it was like, oh man, that's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't the type of person to be hating nobody. I ain't speaking to him because of this. So I'm not doing that. So, when they came, I half court, I dapped him up, boom. Ain't no love lost, man. I understand. So, but everybody else, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
I remember it all. And then, his move to Miami, those are your former teammates. Wade, Bosh, LeBron, all in different stints with different teams. What were your thoughts on that big three when it formed?
I didn't think them dudes was ever gonna lose. Tell you the truth, I thought they would win the first year when they all got together, but I figured it would be tough. But I thought them jokers was gonna just I thought they was gonna win a few of them in a row, man. They had a nice I think the bench is what kind of hurt them. You know what I'm saying? They had those three guys, but then you needed some firepower coming off the bench, and they wouldn't really the bench wasn't really that strong. But still though, with them three dudes, man, I thought they was gonna run through a few championships, man. Actually, when they came to play us, man, I'm like, ooh, man, I'm looking around like, boy, we got a load on our hands tonight. We got a load on our hands tonight. But when they throw that basketball up, it's whatever. Let's play, And obviously they got us, but we fought. We fought.
And Jamario, you were known for your leaping ability, but you're also a very underrated defender. Who gave you the most problems in the NBA?
I would say LeBron probably gave me the most problems, man, because when he get the basketball, he's straight. Back then, he was when he catches, he downhill. You got to try to run back, turn your hips, get in front of a freight train and stop him. But when I was in the league, I was only I think 208 pounds or something like that. I wasn't weak, but I wasn't heavy. So I think LeBron really, it wasn't so much as he gave me problems though. It was just, you got to worry about so much because he had a ball in his hand all the time. When I was guarding Kobe, Kobe's skilled. He one of the best skilled players ever. But I pretty much could play him because he wasn't as big and strong as LeBron. And I knew to play Kobe for the fadeaway and stay down on the pump fake. LeBron gonna get the ball on the break and straight downhill, straight at you, and you got to try to find a way to stop him without fouling him. Then when he get it in the half court, he calling for the screen. You got to fight over these screens and all this type of stuff, man. And man, LeBron, he was tough. He was tough, but I think LeBron was. Yeah, he was the toughest guard for me, man.
And after Cleveland, you had a couple short stints with the Clippers, the Hornets, then back to the G League, back overseas out of the NBA. Then the Big Three came knocking in 2019. Talk to me about how you were recruited there and how much you loved it.
Actually, you know what? The Big Three, the very first year they had the Big Three, I was at the Combine. And I played well, but I didn't get drafted. So I'm like, oh, okay, what do I need to do to get in the Big Three? I'm thinking hey, what did I do? I shot the ball well. People see I can still move. So, and it never, it never clicked what I needed to do. So I'm like, okay, just keep doing what you've been doing. Keep working out, keep training. And every summer they had the Combine, just go to the Combine and continue to do what you do. But Joe Johnson came, before Joe. I was working out in Atlanta with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and they saw me shooting. They saw I could still move, but I didn't get drafted that year either, the second year. So by me working out with those guys and they seeing that I could still move, I was kind of on their list. And Rashard Lewis went down the third game of the season or something. I think he tore his Achilles or something like that, and my guy CJ called me, and he was like, "Hey man, Rashard went down, man. I think we're gonna try to bring you in." And the three-headed monsters called me in, man. Went out there. Gary Payton gave me an opportunity to play, man. And the very first game I played in, I'm in the locker room, in my head, I'm already saying, okay, I'm gonna make up for people not drafting me the first year. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go out here and try to make a statement. I didn't know I was gonna be on the way I was on. It was one of those type moments, one of those MJ moments. I don't know, But I went out. I think I had 24 or 25 or something in my first Big Three game, and the following season, I got drafted by the Ghost Ballers in the first round, and then I got traded to the Triplets. And we went on to win the championship, man. I just always thank Ice Cube, man, for, giving us the platform to go out and still be able to show people that we can still play the game. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of guys just after the NBA. We just sitting around at home. You know, we might still work out and play some pickup ball, man. But you know, there's some fans out there that like still want to see some of the guys. So Ice Cube put that league together, man, and reached out to the right players, man. And I'm still grateful for the Big Three, man. I love it. It made me feel like I was right back in the NBA. It's the same environment, the same type of environment, man. And I'm sad that we're not having the season this summer, but I said, I guess we are going to be the first back-to-back champions by default. Since we're not having a season this summer, you just got to automatically make us the champions for this summer. So we appreciate it.
I mean, listen, I love the Big Three as well, and that triplets team, that team is nice, man.
Oh, my God.
Can Joe Johnson still ball at an NBA level? You think he could get back in the league?
I don't know if he want to get back in the league, but he can definitely play in the league. There's a lot of guys that can still play in the league, man. But you know, when you get a certain age, they feel like you know, you can't do this at a high level anymore. It's only basketball, you know what I'm saying? And like now, it seems like they just run and shoot a lot of threes now. Anyway, can Joe still play in the NBA, man? That's a matter of fact. He'll be on tonight in the TBT with Overseas Elite. He'll be playing in that. You'll be able to see if he can still play. You know he can still play, man. Joe can play with in any league, man.
Talk to me about the 5 tournament. You know, we touched on it in the beginning, but when's the first day of tip-off? Who are your teammates? Who are some people you're looking forward to playing against?
I'm looking forward to playing against everybody, man. We fly out on the 17th, man. The first game is July 19th. It's from the 19th to the 29th, and I feel like Toronto 5 are going to go undefeated. That's me, Reggie Evans, Will Solomon, Mike Taylor, and who was the other guy? I think Carlos Arroyo. We're going to have a lot of energy on our team, man, so I hope those other guys are ready because we coming. Toronto going to get another championship. How about that?
Playing with Blake Griffin, you know, you're a high flyer. He's a real high flyer. What do you think of his dunks and seeing that firsthand?
It always feels different when you're watching somebody else do it, man. And between him and DeAndre Jordan, man, listen, those guys, every night you was going to get a Sports Center moment. You was going to get a top 10 moment from one of those dudes every night. And to be able to be there sitting front row and looking at it, man, it was like, man, this is crazy. This, you know, as big as the dudes are, and they getting up like the same way I'm getting up. Man, that stuff was crazy, man. But I still think I got more hops than Blake and DeAndre.
I'll go with your word on that one, man. All right, Jamario, lastly, who's your 2020 NBA champion?
Oh, man, my 2020 NBA champion, man. That's tough, man, because Milwaukee got a nice team, man. Milwaukee balling, and you know the Lakers are, you know, they got LeBron and AD, man. I'm gonna say the Lakers or the Bucks. It's tough to pick one, man. Because Milwaukee got, like, they bench, like, they got a nice bench. You know, they have some guys that come in off the bench and they get buckets, man. And I would like to see my guy Eric Bledsoe get one. You know, he's from Alabama. That's the home state guy. You know, and I would love to see him get one, man. But I think it's gonna be between the Bucks and the Lakers, man.
All right, folks, you heard it from Jamario. Just like his all-time greats, he's not picking one team to win it. It's either Milwaukee or the Lakers.
Right. Both teams are great.
All right, Jamario, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you for coming on episode 15 of Inside Buzz. And I'll catch up with you soon, my man.
Appreciate you having me on, man. Next time you want to talk, just hit me up.
I appreciate it. Helping out a young kid. I'm only 21, so I'm a lot younger than you.
That's all right, man. I was 21 a long time ago.
Listen, man, I know you know how it is trying to break into, you know, the basketball world, and I'm just getting in the media way.
it's gonna be a lot of people turn you down just because you ain't already made it. You know what I'm saying? You probably asked for some interviews from some people, and they, they're like, oh man, he ain't. Just because you're not well known, you're gonna have a lot of people to try to, just push you to the side or tell you, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. For me, to getting in the NBA the way I did, if you keep working at it and you get in front of the right people, you get that one interview with the right person, then ESPN gonna be calling you.